Hey guys, welcome back to Duncan Farms. This is Josh. We are about halfway through soybean planting season in terms of growth. Everything's looking pretty good. Um, this is the first time I've planted soybeans with precision farming, so it's a little weird. I didn't really prep the soil properly prior to planting. Um, so the nitrogen levels in the middle of the field and honestly on the middle of all the fields didn't really seem to get to be where we wanted. I've tried to add some chemicals to that, but it doesn't seem to want to work. So unless we can get some chemicals into the fields prior to them being fully grown, this might just kind of be a bust on soybeans for the first round. But later on, we can plow up the fields, till everything, and start fresh. Do soybeans probably all over again. Today, we're probably going to haul out the last few loads of barley to Fairbanks. Fairbanks prices are honestly looking the best. Does say they're dropping right now, but they have been going up. That's not a big deal. Let's see here. We added a triaxle to the Peterbilt here, just so we can kind of get away with more weight on the thing. Let's see. We have added more to the back side of the farm. We got all of our straw situated. We got all of our straws all in that bag there. We got all our bales situated. Everything for bags. We had grabbed a few extra bags because I'm going to start just harvesting with bags and then loading trucks for like post harvest after everything's all said and done. Other than that, I don't think much has changed since the last video. We got lime done, we got chemicals done, herbicide, pesticides, all that. Fields are looking pretty good. So, other than barley runs on the agenda today, I think we're going to go ahead and toss that West Steel bin and add another suck up, just because the West Steel bin's kind of far back. I've had that since I started this farm, and I didn't really have trailers back then. I had just the little Chevys that are down in the shed there, so it was easy to bring them around and go under the branch. But with the trailers, it's kind of a pain. So I think we'll toss that. Either a suck up or a GSI. GSI's price is looking pretty good for the 10,000 bushel. Probably not going to need to go larger than that, just because we still only have 343 or so acre fields, and we don't really get that many bushels out of them, enough to fill two 10,000 bushel bins. So I think we'll be all right for now. But let's get to moving some barley. I'm gonna get about 80,000 per run. That's not too bad. I believe we have about 5,000 bushels left. I could be wrong. Let me double check here. Oh, wow. So only about 3,500, so one more run. That'll bring us up to about 150,000 or so. I do need to buy a chisel for tillage, plowing, whatever anybody likes to call it. Those aren't super expensive. Unfortunately, the one that I was interested in was about 145,000. But maybe we'll go ahead and get something a little bit cheaper, at least for now. But let's get this second truck unloaded and get back to the farmyard. Yeah, that is just ridiculously slow. These digital screens go by liters. We are running bushels on everything. I do believe it's 35 liters to 1 bushel. So These trailers hold nearly 2,000 bushels. So it kind of just looks like we'll need a trailer and a half, but this is going to take a while. Let's see if there's something else around the yard that we can do while we wait. No, everything's kind of organized and put away. Probably could clean some stuff off. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and take the pressure washer here and clean some stuff off real quick. Because why not? Might as well waste some time. SAA out here. I got this, I believe I got this from Expendables modding. Really neat little tool. All you do is your left click here and then you have a completely mobile workshop. Pretty awesome. It does get held down with tension belts, so you can bring it really wherever you'd like to go. I like the floaters on this, but sometimes it seems like the cart is a little bit too high, and if we're using courseplay, usually courseplay has Emerson or Andy, either one of them guys in the 9240, and when we're unloading, sometimes I suppose it's a little bit too tall for them to reach up over the top to unload, so maybe we're going to go ahead and trade this cart in for I was looking at the J&M 1596. They have an upgraded version to essentially just raise the top and bring it up to the same amount of bushel capacity as this Brent here. So I think it would be worth it, and it's a little bit lower. It's on tracks, maybe a little bit more comfortable. But it might not be necessary. I guess we'll go ahead and find out next harvest. We will see. Let me go ahead and check this here. This should be pretty good, so we're going to back everything up and fill the front hopper. There she goes. Make sure it's coming out properly. And we jumped right inside. That's super helpful. Check everything out up top. Dusty as heck. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Like I said, just one more trailer full and I think we'll be good to go. Let's move this back into the shop. We'll move the Bobcat out of the way. Kind of just clean up the yard a little bit. Honestly, I feel like skid steer is the most important thing to have on a farm. It's the most useful thing. I move boxes with it, I move crates, pallets, you can throw the hitch attachment on, and I move all of the augers around with it. It helps out a ton. So if you don't have one on your farm, I definitely suggest it. Looks like we're good. So we're going to go ahead and lock this up, bring it forward. Go. Throw some lights on. Oh, you know what? I do believe the co-op is closed by now. It is. Yeah, it's closed by now, so that's alright. We'll go ahead and shut that off. And we'll get the other truck loaded, and I guess tomorrow morning, while they're taking the West Steel bin down, we can go ahead and load the Kenworth right now. While they're taking the bin down, we can do these last two truckloads of barley. And I think that's all for today, and I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. trucks are all warmed up. Folks already came and took down the west steel bin. We already got the grass put back in that area a little bit with some dirt down. I think the GSI, because it's definitely what we're going for. We noticed that the GSI has a really long overload spout, so we can kind of tuck it. We can bring it forward. I want to bring it forward, but we can kind of tuck it a little bit back in comparison, just so that we have space to get down to the seed and fert shed. So I think it'll fit pretty darn well. It's only about 20 grand, where the suck up was about 25 to 30. So that's not going to be too bad. But we're going to go ahead and take care of these last 2 runs of barley, and we'll come back. I don't think we can get the bin in today, so today might just be organizing the yard and getting everything situated. One other thing, I might get rid of these smaller SSI. We have the blue one is herbicide, the white one is fertilizer, this center chemo, can't recall. The center one is fertilizer as well. We might go for the 5,000 gallon ones. These ones are only 1,500. This center one is 1,800, I think. I can't remember. It is empty, so I cannot, I can't tell. So I might get rid of the CMO one and all 3, and I guess all 3 in general, and just grab 2 5,000 gallon tanks for fertilizer and herbicide. We might stick to soybeans quite a bit, so we won't need much fertilizer, but I would like to have it just in case we switch over to wheat, alfalfa. We definitely want to do alfalfa because we are working on the livestock portion, so we'll take care of that. I don't really want to keep them here, but these guys can be moved pretty darn easily, so I just kind of tucked them over here. Maybe, where could we put those with simple access to them, that is. We don't really want to have to back anything up in. We used to have them over here, but that was kind of awkward to pull into and have to turn around before we had this dirt way here. Maybe I'll put them on the side of these bins here. Maybe just right about here where the Brent is. That might work out. That way they're kind of just, I can pull through this driveway here and connect onto them. I think that'll be a better idea for sure. So let me just jump in the lead here. I think it's going to be Emerson that's going to help us out and bring things along. So we will go ahead and check that out. Not a very good driver. We might need to find somebody else to take his place. Oh, nope, it's Andy. Of course it's Andy. It's always Andy. He's always around the farm. He's always ready to help out. It's all good. Alright, we picked up those 5,000 gallon SSIs. We grabbed the blue again for herbicide and white for fertilizer. We just got the pump going so we can switch everything up. We're going to toss these to the side once they're done, and then have someone take them away later. The CMO is empty. This guy here, where's the yellow ball? Down there. So this one is also empty, so the herbicide was the only thing we had to transfer over, and it looks like we only have, oh geez, maybe like 1,200 gallons, so not a whole lot. This should be done, so we'll pop everything off. There we go. Pop everything off of here. I'm just going to pull the pump to the side because I may grab some more herbicide and fertilizer later on. Let's see here. So these things are so light they can just be lifted up just by your hands. I'm pretty sure they said it was just nylon. I could be wrong. I have no idea what they're made of, but they're super light. The CMO, however, I need to pick that up probably with the skid steer. Like I said, the GSI bin will be delivered tomorrow, and then I believe after that all we'll be waiting on is for the soybeans to finish up so that we can finish up everything else with the harvest. I think that'll be good. Kind of excited to see how, a little heavy here. I'm excited to see how the yield turns out with soybeans since we didn't have to use any fertilizer. Again, I'm not super familiar with it, but I'm sure it'll go pretty well. We're going to find out. We have about 125 acres to do, so hopefully that'll give us enough to maybe add something new to the farm here. Maybe we can get, maybe we can go ahead and plant some alfalfa next season rather, and set up an area where we can get silage going. That way we are completely ready to go for livestock. Alright guys, we are in late summer here. Kind of took a longer break than expected. After winter hit, 2 out of the 3 fields of soybeans survived, but this main field we're looking at right here, everything died. The entire field was a waste, completely withered. It seemed like, of course, the low temperatures got to it. I'm not sure why it didn't get to the soybeans, but that's okay. So we quickly, well, as quickly as we could, went and planted some winter wheat, and that actually outgrew the soybeans. So we still have 33 and 27 with soybeans, and then we have 23 with wheat. The wheat is fully grown, so we're going to go ahead and get to that right now. We did get a couple of things. We went to a little auction, and we got this here. It's got about 102 hours on it. It is a 4440, just with the larger wheels in the front. I feel like it could just be another useful piece around the farm. It could be used for the bagger, it could be used for augers, just something simple. It was only about 20 grand, so that's not bad. We have these SSIs set up, and then we were going to go for the GSI bin, but we went with the Brock instead. Same bushel capacity as a suck-up, a little shorter, but a little wider. It was around the same price as the GSI, but the GSI was kind of on the really wide side, and it didn't seem to make sense to me to take up so much space for such little capacity. What else here? We did try this out here. We threw our logo on our truck, just that one there. And that one kind of tucked in between there. It was kind of difficult to do that. We were working on this truck for a little bit, but I am really enjoying the way that the logo came out. I feel like they're pretty neutral, well, as neutral colors as it can be. We're not really loyal to any specific brand, I suppose. Let's see here. Do those look like they are the same? Yeah, they look pretty similar. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring out the toolbox here and double check everything, make sure everything is fueled up, make sure everything is ready to go for harvest. And we're going to go ahead and knock out that winter wheat today. And in the next few days, the soybean should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get started on all that. Let's just kind of open up the field a little bit here. Get out of the way, birds. Yeah, bring this in here. Yield is looking pretty darn good. Let's see here. Shut that on off. Our pH is good, perfect rather, and our nitrogen, I believe, is perfect for wheat. So this should be pretty darn good yields. We're probably going to bring this right to the edge, and usually right about here, towards the kind of like where it turns off a bit. I'll bring it in, and we'll pull a right and go directly up the center. So we're going to run on down through the field, grab the grain cart, and see what we can get done here. I'm going to let him cut into this just in case we need the space. Yep, this is at 102 hours. We are definitely going to have to repair this thing. maybe I will, maybe I'll go ahead and steal the bucket off the other 4440. I'm just going to have to get two, that's for sure. But I'll steal the bucket off the other 4440 because I do believe that's over there with the grain cart. But honestly, I prefer these larger front wheels. Oh, and we toss the, whoops, sorry, expendables. Let's see here. I do like the larger front wheels for running through the field. It just feels a little more stable to me. Let's go ahead and repair that. Only 500 bucks, that's not too bad. Throw this back on over here, because we do not need that for now. Keep this open here. We're going to go ahead and connect the bagger, get everything organized. Let's see here. Now let's see which way these bags will want to connect. I can never really tell with this bagger. I do know there is another, there we go. I know there is another group of modders, I believe it's FS Screenshots, that is coming out with the Brant bagger. We are definitely going to go ahead and pick that up right when they're done with it, because the detail on the bagger itself already looks fantastic, but the bags as well, they look a little more on the realistic side, so that's going to be pretty awesome. Bring this on through here, and we're just going to have, I'm assuming it's either, well, Andy's over there, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be Emerson. He's usually the one to follow us on around. Let's see here. We're going to bring the bagger up the middle, and we'll probably just have it kind of go along facing south. That way we can bring the cart in pretty easy. But let's see if we can go ahead and follow Andy around a bit, and see if we can unload this on the go all the way around the headlands. We will avoid this here. There we go. They really speed up when they go around corners quite a lot. That is crazy. So we had to make a few changes. there was no real solid path for Kyler to go through in the middle of the field, so we detached the bag, kind of moved everything around, moved the bag as gently as we could so nothing got ruined. And we brought it more towards the headlands so we don't have to worry about anything getting cut into or hit. Um, we are completely full, well, we're completely full in the grain cart. We're going to hop around here and go ahead and check how many bushels we have in the bag so far. At about 3,200. Now we're going to go ahead and add a couple, let's see here, add about 1,400 more to go. Shouldn't be too long for this field. Like I said, it's only about 43 or so acres of workable area. What in the world? Why would you cut in and just back up? Who is in that combine? Let's see here. Let's bring this on around. I'm not going to be able to follow you on through, so I'm hoping he doesn't pull on through. Just in enough, right between the center bars as well. There we go. Like I said, in a few days we'll be able to get at those soybeans. I don't think we'll be able to get to them this episode. It may already be quite a lengthy episode because we essentially prepped for harvest. We got everything good to go. I will say, if the neighbor's farmyard doesn't go up for auction here soon, what we'll probably do is, if we can get that patch of land over there, we definitely will, and see if we can kind of pull out the field itself and kind of shape it up for it to be the dairy. Because even then, if we have the farmyard over there, the dairy's only right down the road. I would like to keep the grain, grain and land portion of the farm separate from the livestock. That way everything's kind of in its own place. I definitely know the grain and land section will be a lot larger. I would want to start with at least 100 to 200 head of cattle, like I said before, but we'll see. 1,000 to 1,500 head would be pretty nice. I feel like that would be a solid amount of dairy income. And then, maybe 1,000 to, honestly, 1,000 to 1,500 acres would be awesome to farm on a regular basis here. So we're going to go ahead and think about that a little bit while we follow Kyler around in the cart here. It shouldn't be very long to finish up this field. Let's see here. We'll line this up good, and we'll check on prices. Wheat is towards the end of winter for solid pricing, so we're going to go ahead and hold those up until then. We are midsummer, so we do have to go through fall and then winter. Soybeans, they just went through their good pricing stage. That's unfortunate. So probably what we'll do is we'll kind of just hold off. We do have a good chunk of money, about $69,000. So we'll be pretty good up until then. We'll sell off the wheat towards the winter, and then we'll sell off the soybeans come around spring. No, not spring. Summer. I just had a complete brain fart on that one. That was bad. We'll sell off soybeans in summer. It's kind of funny because soybeans, they got a good sale price in summer, but we plant them in spring, so we would have to go through an entire fall and winter because they're not going to grow that fast. Whereas opposed to wheat, we can plant that in winter. That's got pretty darn good prices, pretty average prices, other than late summer, early fall. Honestly, if it wasn't more of a pain to do the wheat than soybeans, I would do wheat more often. But soybeans, productivity-wise, less running around, less chemicals used because soybeans, nitrogen-wise, they'll take care of themselves. I think all in all, it is pretty good. I thought about doing corn pretty soon, but that would have to go into buying a dryer it's a big investment. Maybe when we have some more land, we'll get into corn. But for now, it's going to be predominantly soybeans and wheat or barley. So we are just pulling up on our east field here. This is field 27. Soybeans as well, same as our south field. The main farm field is the only one that we had, 23, field 23. It's the only field that we had to switch up and do a quick planting of wheat. That was simply because for some reason the soybeans died. We still aren't sure why. That was awkward. Gonna be fun to figure out. Now, I haven't actually, usually I just kind of bring this in, so we're gonna find out if we can sneak through here over the fence. Looks like we're pulling the fence. But it looks like, yep, we can. All right. just about full, but we got one truckload full. We're gonna go ahead and set this over to the side so we don't drop that because there is no strap on this truck. But we're gonna bring this, 2681.8, looking real good. Probably a little too heavy to bring through the field without a problem. So we're gonna go ahead and just run down the road. Super quick unload speeds, really happy about that. Like, this is already almost gone. Insanely quick unload speeds. Super excited. Let's bring this trailer on through, kind of see if we can swing it around just like so. Oh, there it is. I think that's going to be at the end of this for now. I'm really liking the trailer. I'm really happy with how things turned out with these yields. Even though they were kind of on the more minimal side, it's still going to be a really solid profit. And I think in the next episode we'll be getting more towards dairy, maybe even getting a couple hundred head of cattle to start dairy. That would be absolutely awesome. So I will catch you all later. Have a good one.